Hello friends, this is Grace here. I'm so excited to hang out with you guys today. I am here live on the Essential Stencil page, coming to you with an art journal page that you can do with your stencils. So yes, we can use our stencils inside our art journal books or in our scrapbooking or however you like to create inside books, which I love to do. So welcome to the Essential Stencil page. Please say hello when you come on in. I'm going to grab this feed here on I got my laptop right here just so I can see the comments and so we can chit chat while I'm live. So let's see if I can find the comments. Hopefully rather quickly. Hopefully it won't take too long. Say hello, let me know that you're here. I'm going to show you a journal page that I did on I did it on Monday with the stencils because you know the new you guys, I can't find us. The new spring stencils are available for pre-order now. It started on Monday and you can pre-order all the way through Wednesday, I believe. Let me look at my cheat sheet. So pre-ordering started on Monday and it goes through Wednesday, February 1st. And you can buy things individually or you can buy bundles. And there are two bundles. There's a honeybee bundle and then the spring bundle. And if you buy them in bulk, there's a discount with the bulk order. Plus, you can use one of our codes. So my code is THECOMFYNEST to get an additional discount. Plus, you get a freebie. If you order the whole bundle, you get a free stencil. So that's pretty darn exciting if you can get all that in one hit. So go ahead and do your pre-ordering. That's super exciting. I know many of you have. So let me know in the comments. Oh, good. Now I'm getting a message from a lot of these guys from Facebook and Miss Braza. Allow. Oh, good gravy. I'm getting all welcome to your page, it says. I don't know what that's all about. Facebook. And there are two bundles. All right. Honeybee bundle. I found us. Yay, there's Nancy. I see you now. Elisa, I haven't seen you in a while. Hello, friend. Hey, Connie. So guys, let me know. Have you done some shopping with the new spring and the new honeybee bundle? Or are you holding off for a little while? Did you buy some things? Did you buy a full bundle? Let's chat about it. If you are new here at the Essential Stencil page, let me welcome you on behalf of the Essential Stencil brand ambassadors and the company. I've been a brand ambassador for quite a few years. Very proud and happy to be. They're just fantastic products. From the wood products, the wood tags and surfaces to the paint brushes, both the stencil brushes and the detail brushes. Fabulous. And of course, the stencils. And now we have the transfers. That's rather new. I mean, not brand new, but rather new. And I'm actually going to use one of the transfer sets today. This is one of the new transfer sets that you can pre-order now. And it's just a whole bunch of Easter Bunny goodness. Check them out, you guys. I'm going to try to hold it pretty close so you can see. Look at the color. So I'm going to show you how to use these in my book today. You get two full 12 by 16 sheets of designs. I think there's another floral set as well. This one is called Spring Bunny Transfers, available now. So grab it. We're going to use, I already cut him out, the little bunny that I'm going to use, her. Isn't she cute? I'm in love with her. I want her really big. I want her really big. I would love to put her on the cover of a book. But anyway, we're going to use her inside my journal today. And I'm also going to use one of the new sets called Whimsical Wildflowers. It's a 6 set. It's a 6-pack. So I'll show you these. They remind you of the Beatrix Potter books. Good call, Nancy. I wouldn't have thought of that. So, now that you say it, yes, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. So listen, guys and girls, if there are any guys out there, make sure that you say hello in the comments. Essential Stencil will be giving away sets of product today, 3 lucky winners today during the live at the end of the broadcast. And also replay watchers, if you are catching the replay, make sure that you let us know you're catching the replay because they'll choose another winner there. Hi, Diane. Oh, Dee's loving these bundles. Well, take a look. This is the 6-pack. I think I'm going to use this one, but I love this one too. It's so hard to pick. We have the envelope full of flowers. You get the envelope full of flowers. You get Wild at Heart. This is the set that I'm using today, and I thought I decided, but maybe I'm undecided on which one I'm going to use. Stay Wild. And I love how they've incorporated the floral into the W. It's like part of the word itself, the letter itself. And then Love Grows here with some more florals. So really pretty fonts and nice. These are like evergreen phrases. I think you could use these year round, either in home decor, on gift bags. I'm going to use it in my art journal. So there you have it. It's just super fun. If you haven't met me before, my name is Grace. I am here from the Comfy Nest with Grace, and I'm thrilled to be here with you. So thanks for hanging out with me. There's your pre-order. There you go. There's the link pinned down below. Thank you, Essential Stencil folks. Christina likes the envelope. It's really darling, isn't it? And actually the envelope, it's Valentine time. So this little envelopes that, you know, if it's somebody's birthday or you're giving them a wedding shower gift or card, how cute would that be on the gift bag for any of those special occasions? So again, this one is called Whimsical Wildflowers. Okay, so let me check what the comments are doing. Barbara ordered the whimsical one too. Yay, go Barbara. Hello, Linda in West Virginia. Thanks for being here. Okay, so on Monday, I did do an art journal page. Let me show you. This is my spiritual art journal. And, oh, actually, the last 2 pages in my art journal have essential stencils on them, but I'll show you this one that I did on Monday. Now, I did this one on my page, The Comfy Nest with Grace. So if you want to see, these are from the new pre-order. These are pre-order stencils that you can't get them just yet, but if you pre-order them now, they'll be sent out soon. So that's the one I did on Monday, and we're gonna do another page. And I got started because I was a little nervous about getting the full background done. So I've already put some color on this next page. And what I did was I took the bunny and I looked at the florals in the bunny's hair and tried to come up with just an abstract whimsical background for that matches her little floral headband, I guess you would call it. She has a floral headband on. So I did that, but it's feeling really wild and 1980s to me. This is the page that I use to kind of play with colors and blend colors and figure out what I'm doing on the real part of the page. I love art journaling, you guys. I enjoy it so much. I mean, a lot of people in their art journals, they're full completed. Like these last 3 pages, I use the left-hand side as my palette and my notes, and on the right-hand side, the actual project. But I don't always do that. Sometimes, like this art journal page, I did the whole spread was art journal page. Let's see. I think in the rest of the book, it's all art journal pages. Yeah, this one, they're all covered with something pretty, but you can do whatever the heck you want. There are no rules. This is what I love about creating in a journal. And then I get to flip through, and I love texture. So I have some like mesh in here and some 3D paints. And this one happens to be, I have washi tapes in here and napkins. Lots of glitter on this page. This book happens to be spiritual, so it's always based on a reflection or a Bible quote or something like that. But I have other journals that I do. There's no theme. It's just for fun. So this is what we're working in today. So I've already started on the background, but we need to finish it. So we're gonna work on that. Now this, again, the colors are right, but the feeling is very 1980s. Geometric to me. So I'm going to soften it up quite a bit. I found a piece of tissue paper that actually one of my crafty chicks sent me, and it has a bit of shimmer in it. I don't know that you'll be able to see that on camera, but it's a bit shimmery and it's very sheer. So I'm going to put this down over my colors, and that's going to add more texture and just visual interest. And then we're going to do the transfer and some stenciling and some writing on top of that. Okay, so that all being said, let's get gluing because we got to glue this thing down. Hey, Evelyn. Hello. I don't want to miss anybody, but I got to get started with the project. Thank you, Elise. This says your journal's beautiful. Colleen is watching from Southwest Missouri. Oh, and she's stenciling. Get it, girl. Colleen, get it, get it. So I used this brush earlier on some of my paints, but I cleaned it off, so it's a little wet, but not terrible. I'm going to grab my decoupage varnish and glue, and I'm going to use the Silky Shine today because You guys who love my varnishes and glues that I sell on my site, look at this. It's not uber shiny. Look at the sheen on there. It's not like uber, it's just enough. It's called Silky Shine, so it's not like super glossy. It's not that. It's just a little bit of a nice sheen to it. And so I decided I'm gonna use that on this one too. So I've got my glue here. This bottle is almost empty. I'm gonna have to grab a new one soon. And I'm gonna put this all over my page so we can get this tissue paper down over this color. And the page, I actually recorded a video for how I created the colorful background. And you know, you'll see me just playing with, on this side, my paint palette to try to get the colors just the way I want them. I recorded that and I will release that probably on my YouTube channel as like a process video, so you can watch the process of it. This paper is fantastic because it has some shimmer in it. And I want to show you, you can see the purple come right through this, like, I don't even know, violet purple, violet blue. It comes right through the paper. So the paper is no longer just cream and gold. It now has that sheer bluish background to it, which I think is going to be perfect for our little bunny in our stenciling. So half the fun for me in creating is creating the backgrounds. I just love the exploration of it. The process of it, it's just, you can't beat it. It's just so much fun to play in a book. And you guys, I turn to books. Some of you who follow me on the regular, you know this already. I've been crafting for a long time. How long have you guys been crafting? I've been crafting for a long, long, good old time. And I would love to know in the comments how long you've been crafting. I'm not even going to use this little, I'm going to just use my hand because I love the feel of it. And this tissue paper can handle, it's not like a napkin, it can handle me pushing on it like that. Oh my gosh, is that pretty? I hope I can get the shimmer in the camera. I don't know that I can. Oh yeah, a little bit. So the gold, it's almost like a champagne gold diamond and it's shimmery. And then in the off-white part, the creamy part, you can see my blue right through there. I love it. Okay, we have to coat the top and bottom because I'm going to be painting over this. I'm going to be writing over this with a marker, and we're going to do our transfer over this. So I'm going to give it a good old go of top coat, varnish on the top as well. And to be honest with you, this is a little bit of a, I haven't used the Silky Shine underneath marker yet, so we'll see if this, how this varnish holds up with a marker on top of it. We'll discover it together. Anyway, I started to say, I'd love to know how long you guys have been creating and crafting. How many years, how many months? Are you just getting started? Connie says since she was a child, really. Connie, what kinds, like, how long have you been doing it, and what's your like go-to crafting? If you're gonna go to your craft space or open your craft bin, are you mostly crocheting? I know we have people who sew, quilters. I know that there are, you know, crafty people. You can't put us in a box. That's how I feel. Do you dabble in a bit of it all? A little bit of hand lettering, a little bit of stenciling, stamping, playing with paper clay and molds. Is that you? Like, do you love the Dollar Tree crafting? And how long have you been doing it? I would love to know. Lynn says, Essential Stencils are fabulous and fun, and their spring collection was released this week. It's to die for. There is a lot of beautiful stuff there for you guys to choose from. Bonnie says, most of 60 years, her dog typed 7, and she corrected it and said, I've been creating most of 60 years. Bonnie, that is funny. Crafting on and off my entire life, Carmen says. Well, Carmen, I did not realize that. Good for you. She does all kinds of things. Let's see. Sue's been crafting a long time as well. Winter's a good time to work harder because it's too cold to be outside. Yes, yes. A lot of the crafty chicks who hang out with me, because, you know, you get out in the summer, you like to go gardening, you want to go for long walks, you want to hike, you want to get on a kayak on the river or play in the lake or get in your pool if you have one. So I get it. There's definitely more crafting goes on in the winter if you live in the cold weather climates. Eva says, I've been crafting for a very long time. My mother-in-law started me. Yay, that's nice. Dawn's just getting into it and starting to learn. Go, Dawn. It is a world of joy. Like, it's just a world of fun and fellowship, especially if you can join a group like the Stencil of the Month Club. It's fun fellowship and just pure joy. And you'll learn so much from the new friends that you make, either on social media or locally if you have groups that get together. I used to get together with a group of friends and we used to scrapbook regularly and go to scrapbooking retreats. I used to belong to our local quilt guild and have been on quilt retreats, and I love the fellowship of it. So I hope you get the same thing from it too. You know, I mean, those of us who have been doing it for a long time, we know that already, but those of you who are new, welcome to the world of creating, and I hope you find the best creative friends to hang out with. I call the friends over on my page Crafty Chicks, so when you hear me refer to that, because my page is The Comfy Nest, we're the Crafty Chicks. Michelle says, I think I've been doing it all my life. Okay, so here's why I turn to books, ladies and gentlemen. Joyce loves to do ceramics. Tina got her pre-order done yesterday. Woo, woo, good job. The reason I turn to books is because I only have so much wall space, and I have so many finished canvases and wood blanks, but they're not blank anymore, wood boards in my basement, or that I have sold over the years through my creative business. Thankfully, I have enough friends here through social media that have purchased my finished projects, because what do you do with them all? If you don't have a creative business and you're not selling at a local craft fair or something, what are we gonna do with all these projects that we've created? Eventually you run out of room. I mean, is anybody feeling that? Is anybody feeling that? That's what I've been feeling for years. And my husband was also, let's be honest, my husband was like, okay, I'd come out of my craft room. Oh, honey, look what I made. Day after day, look what I made. Oh, look at this, how cute. Look what I stenciled. And he'd say, okay, honey, but what are you going to do with it? Because he saw the stuff piling. And actually, that's a bit of how the Comfy Nest got started. Because I did a couple of local craft fairs and learned quickly that wasn't for me. That was not the route I wanted to go. But I did a couple of local craft fairs and then started my business page here on Facebook so that I could share my creations with other people. Now, more of what I do is I have creative membership groups where I like to inspire and teach techniques and teach about different products. So that's more of what I do now. But that's how the Comfy Nest got started. I just ran out of room. I plumb ran out of room, girls. So if anybody else is feeling that, you may consider getting yourself an art journal, because it's such a fun, creative outlet, and it fits nicely on a bookshelf or on your coffee table. And then you can look back, and in one place, I mean, most of these books have 40 to 60 pages, blank pages, waiting for you to stencil and create on, and then you can admire them through the years. I love to write on mine the date, so I know what date I created it. I've just gotten so much joy out of it. I feel like those scissors are entirely too big for that. And I don't even necessarily need to do this right now, although I would like for you to kind of get an idea of the finish. I'm having trouble with this side, because I'm a righty and I want the scissors to the right, not to the left. So I'm just gonna flip my page. I just want to get that excess paper off. Okay, our background is done. I'm not certain though, I have to say, I'm not certain that my paper, it needs to be dry before we do the next parts to it, but it really does look beautiful. So one of the key things when you're creating on paper, particularly if you like to layer a lot, is what glues and varnishes and top coats work best together. I'm feeling like this, I love this glue and varnish. I'm gonna put that aside, but I'm feeling like, okay, I've been trying to communicate this. I think I've got it. Like you can use Mod Podge. You can use Mod Podge. I'm not a huge fan of Mod Podge for the glue part of it, because it's really sticky. I love it as a top coat. I absolutely love it. It's probably one of my favorite top coats, but I don't love using it as a decoupage glue. So I use the Pentart brand. In fact, this is what I sell on my site. And Pentart comes with, there's a glitter one, there's the Silky Shine, which isn't quite gloss, but it's shiny. There's the matte. Then there's some other versions too. But this tends to really meld into the papers and it is a varnish, but for this page, I'm gonna do a coat of Mod Podge because I need a top coat. I need to know that when I put this down, it's gonna stick on there. So I'm gonna be extra cautious today, and let's go glossy. You know, there's matte Mod Podge, glitter Mod Podge, antique Mod Podge. We're gonna go glossy. Partially because it's easy to get out of the container. And it was really handy. I gotta get that little coat of Mod Podge off the nozzle. There we go. You can only give so long before others run out of space. Yeah, if you're giving to... wait, who said that? Because that is actually quite true. Bonnie. No, it wasn't Bonnie. Who said that? Diane Brown. All right, Diane, I'm with you, girl. I am with you. You can only gift so much before the people that you love say, enough, friend. I have enough. I have enough already. I have enough on my walls. So this is why I love to work in my books. This is why. I've got entirely too much Mod Podge here. So we're just gonna splash it onto this paper towel. All right. I feel like the varnish and glue sits into the paper. It does do a nice top coat, but because I want to layer more stuff on top, I want to be extra certain that this is going to cover my tissue paper in a way that it's not going to interfere with what comes next in the layering process. So Mod Podge, I think, is the best top coat for this. Love this product. But to be extra sure, I'm going to put a coat of Mod Podge and we're going to let that dry. And this is glossy Mod Podge. I'm going gloss today. I've got a little like Mod Podge booger. Ugh. You know how it clumps up? This is why I'm not a fan of Mod Podge as a glue, because it can get really clumpy and difficult to work with. As a top coat, it's one of my favorites, actually, especially in my art journals. Some people have asked me in my art journals, does the Mod Podge get sticky? The pages stick to each other, and that can happen. I try to leave my book pages, when I'm done with a book page, before I close it, I leave it at least overnight. I leave it open to really cure, and sometimes it takes more than an overnight with Mod Podge. That won't happen with the varnish. The varnish is you don't have to worry about it. So if you're just done with the project right now, I would leave the varnish on there and your page will be protected and it'll be just fine. But because we're gonna layer some more stuff on top, we've got the Mod Podge. Good morning, Deb. Gia says, this is why I love art journaling so much. There's only so much space to put stuff. Yep, Gia, you and me, girl. Michelle said, this is my problem too. So my friend suggested I sell it. I'm not in the business, so I have a crafty party every October in my garage. Oh, good for you. Michelle, that's a good solution. Crafty morning from Florida, Rose. Caroline gives a lot away. Colleen says, I can relate to this. Creating and then wondering, what will I do with all of this? Yeah, so I highly suggest those of you who haven't tried or haven't considered it yet, consider working in books and art journals. Okay, so we have to decide. Little Bunny is going here on the right. And then either Grow Happy Thoughts, or I think She is a Wildflower. I think I'm going to go with She is a Wildflower. So what I have to figure out is I don't want the wildflower, this really long word wildflower, to get in the way of this little bunny ear that's kind of sticking out, right? We want to keep them separate. I don't want to lose the bunny ear, so I got to figure out my placement. Now, if I just put this stencil on the upper left, then the wildflower goes right over Bunny's ear if she is on the lower right. So I'm going to do this part. She is A, and I'm going to actually drop it down a little lower. And then I'm going to put wildflower in this part right here. Like the wildflower will end here because that gives me more room for my R. And hopefully I won't lose I don't want to lose the bunny's ear off the end. I think no, we better do the transfer first and then the stencil. So let's figure this out. I really got to know what I'm doing here. So I love that you can cut these out so you can figure out your placement. In fact, I'm going to cut a little bit of this off so I can see the edge of the book and where the bunny is positioned in relation to the book page. So I'd have to have her here to get her full ear in. Otherwise, I'm going to lose part of her ear. So I can move you over a little bit, honey. Little honey bunny. Literally, you little honey bunny. I think this will work if I do this, but I am going to lose just a chunk of her ear. I don't want to, but it's going to happen. I'm going to try not to, though. There, I'm going to put her right here. So I need a scrapey tool. Oh, like cross your fingers, girls, because I have not done a transfer on Mod Podge. I use these transfers on paper all the time. I use these transfers on fabric. They're beautiful on fabric, but I haven't done it on a Mod Podge. In fact, I might be tempted to just put a little section of gesso here, but I'm not going to do it. We're gonna run with it the way it is. Now, I got to get the backing out, but I want to keep my spot. I'm making a mental note in my head of where on this diamond the ear like ends right there. If I just keep my eye on that diamond, I know where I left my ear. It's going to come right here, and then I can get all of her on here. I'm a little bit nervous about this. Okay, here's what's on my mind. I'm going to commit to it. I'm going to put it down. It's a sticker, you guys. It's like a big sticker, these transfers. And like I said, you get so many of them. So these ones look like they're smaller and there's more of them on this sheet. That's the sheet I took my bunny from. But these ones are bigger, you guys. They're much bigger. Like, look at that bunny in a basket. Is that not the most precious thing? Anyway, I've committed to this spot. Now, what I'm realizing when I put her down here, let's talk process, creative process. When I put her down, she's kind of stuck on there already. She's kind of getting lost in my background. You see that? Like how you can't really, her fur is just about the same color as the diamonds, the little platinum diamonds, those champagne colored, platinum colored diamonds. So I'm going to put her on here, and then I'll probably take like some white paint or some gesso and highlight her, give her a little halo so she pops off of the page more. So you can either do it in bright colors or you can outline her with something dark, like a black marker or a brown marker. But let's get her on here. So all you do, and I actually probably don't need this anymore. All we're going to do is use the tool that you get with your transfer, and we're going to push her into the paper. And we're crossing our fingers or saying some prayers, whatever you think is most, maybe do both. Let's see. We're going to hope that she transfers on to this Mod Podge. Let's see. This is a test. Yeah, she's beautiful. She's done. She's on there. I'm going to just make sure one more time, give it a good press. Now I peel back really slowly. When you peel back the top part of this, you're going to peel it back really slowly, slowly, slowly. And if any part of her sticks to this vellum top, then you're going to put her back down gently and re-rub it. It's not going to damage anything. If you go really slow, you won't rip the transfer. I think I got it all in the first fell swoop. I think I got it, girls. Yeah, she's on there. So now this piece, this top part, or you can take this part, either one of them, but you're going to take that and just give it a nice good rub one more time to make sure she's really stuck down on your paper. She's on there, but now I do feel like she's a little bit lost on there. So, a couple of design decisions to make. Now, I'm going to put, she is a wildflower, And I also have a Bible verse, because this is my spiritual journal, that I'm going to hand write on with a marker. So I have to decide what color paint. I was going to do brown for She Is a Wildflower and for the writing. Now I'm kind of second guessing myself. I'm thinking maybe something bright, like a white or an off-white, because then I could outline her with the same color. So let's think here. I think I'm going to outline her first. Let's see if I have a paint marker and a color that makes sense. This is dangerous. This is dangerous. All right, here's what I'm going to do. So over here I got my bunny. This is my paint palette here. So I'm going to put my, this is like a creamy colored marker. Matches her, the flowers on her actually. I'm just going to write here and just see. Now it's actually, if I use this to outline her, it's a little bit darker even than I think I want. But let's just try a section. And I'll show you what I mean. Because I think I want this, I don't want it like I don't want it to show like a marker. I want it to show more like a halo. Very soft and fluffy, not a straight marker line. So if I take my marker and I put it around her, but then I immediately, before it dries, because I'm on Mod Podge, this actually works well for me, I take my finger and I just smudge that mark. I'll show you what happened. So what I'm doing is I'm putting, can you see around her cheek right here? That little bit of color on that side of her cheek? That is what I'm doing. So I'm adding the marker. I'll do half of her and I'll leave the other half undone. So big marker line, and then I'm smudging it with my finger. You gotta get your fingers dirty when you create with a, in an art journal. I always, and even with paints on wood, I always get my fingers get a little bit in there. All right, let's do, I'm gonna do half of her and I'll show you. Dry finger, I don't want a wet finger, but I'm gonna really put a soft outline around her to make her show up a little bit better. And it's, when I just got a little bit of it on her cheek, actually, on her gray cheek, and it wiped right off with my finger. I just have a, that's just a baby wipe right there. So you can, the Mod Podge is actually really working out well here because the Mod Podge resists the marker. In fact, I think I could just wipe the Mod Podge off, or wipe the marker off completely. Let me do the top of her head. I said I'd do half and I haven't got quite half. I got almost half with this little halo that I'm talking about. So it's just a really soft mark around her. And if you get, like I said, I'm getting that marker on her flower, but it's wiping off really clean and easy with the baby wipe. All right. So I did this half of her, but not that half. Do you see the difference? This side has a halo. This side, no halo. Can you see that? The rabbit is so cute, isn't it? It's just grounding that transfer on the page so she really pops off a little bit more so she doesn't get lost. So when you do this, when you put a focal point on your board, on a page, on a, it doesn't matter if it's a porch leaner, it doesn't really matter what the project is, but if you put something on your background and you're like, man, my background color is way too close to the color of my focal point, you can come around with a paint, with a marker, with a highlighter, with a Stabilo All pencil, which is like a charcoal pencil, and those come in different colors. You can come around with anything that you have in your stash and find a way to just create this like soft halo. It doesn't have to be bright. Like I said, it can be black. It can be dark brown. It can be a dark shadow. But what it does is it creates like a grounding point for your image. So that's what I'm doing right now. So whenever you, have you ever had that happen where you create something and you're like, man, my focal point, my flower, my heart, whatever it might be, my kid's picture, it's lost on the page. don't worry. Now you know this technique of grounding your focal point with either a marker or something like that. And actually, I'm going to take this, let's get this done, and then I'm going to put a little bit more of it up above her head. Because I tend to like this to be really bold. We talked about this on Monday when I did this other page. When I did this page, no, that wasn't it. Oh, what page was I working on? Oh, it was in my little book. Where is it? Hold on, girls. It's right here. All is not lost. I'm going to work on this other book today at 2 o'clock. Where did I put it, girls? Oh, here it is. On this book. Oh my gosh, I have so many clips in this little book that I did. Here on this flower on this book page, you can see down here, especially by these petals, my border that I created, that halo, that border, this one is dark, and I made it incredibly bold. Like, I like super bold, and I like it really messy. I do not like things tidy. I feel like I was a perfectionist for most of my life, and I'm really trying to let go of that, and I find it very liberating. So I think my art journaling is really good for me in that regard, because it gives me a really free place to just be messy and not feel stressed about it. To be more free and a little more whimsical and not worry about it. So now that I've got the basic halo around her, see that? Isn't that way better? Actually, the bolder I make it, the more I like it. So I'm going to come out a little bit further. I'm just doing a little bit at a time because I'm not quite sure how far I want to take this. So I'm going to come in and add just a little bit at a time. Now I feel, now that I've got the basic halo, I call it, around her, outline around her, I'm feeling more confident. Like, yeah, this is exactly what I wanted. So let's not be so timid and just get her done, man. Make it more bold. Make it more. Just make it more. Okay, now she's really showing up. Okay, now we can do our stenciling. We got our transfer on there, and she's showing up really well. This right here that is not highlighting. That's just the color of the paint underneath the paper. Okay, now that we got that, let's get the wildflower part done. And I was debating, should I go bright or should I go dark? And can I use my marker? I've used pencils before to stencil. Let's see, if I tried to use my marker. This is a paint marker, a Posca pen. Let's just see if I could use the same exact color that I used to make that halo. Well, so far it's working. It does work. It does work, but it's not the right color. I don't think that's the color I want. All right. So I think we better go. What do you guys think? Should I do a purpley color for the stenciling? Should I do the off-white? Should I do brown? I could do gray. I could do black. Black would be very striking. Like, it would really stand out. I didn't even grab a paint, girls, because I wasn't quite sure about this part. I wanted to see how it turned out on the page before I decided this color. Let me see what you guys are saying in the comments for color suggestions. Dorinda, I'm so glad you love it. Yes, add the outline, Evelyn. It really does help it come off the page, right? All right, let's pick a brown maybe. Should we try a brown? I feel like this brown would be too dark. This color would be too light. This is more like a mocha. Oh, it's called cafe latte. Coffee latte. Excuse me, I got the name wrong. Here, I'm going to go back to my paint palette right here, which is my art journal. I'm going to put a little bit of both of these on here and see if I can create a custom color that makes sense for this page. And I already have over here the colors that I've been using. So this is a good exercise in paint blending and creating your own colors. So I want it to be, no, see, that's still just too bright. Or too dark, excuse me, too dark. So let's come in. I even have a lighter. This is the off-white that I used on the background. Let me add a drop of that. And one of these, it's got to be this one. Super thin. The viscosity of it is, this one's called Espresso from Doris. It's really thin paint, so that's not great for stenciling, as you know. Like, it just causes a lot of bleed through. Okay, that I like more. It's more of a soft brown. See that? Most of it is in my brush, unfortunately, but that's better. And it's really neutral. Okay, so combination of the three is what we're going with. I'm going to see if I have enough of this here to just get started, and if I have to, I'll make a little bit more. I'm going to do the word wildflower first. It's going to get a little bit on her cheek. It is. It's just going to have to be just a little bit on her cheek. Now, the danger of Mod Podge. Some paints, markers, pencils, like watercolors wouldn't work on top of a Mod Podge top coat because it's a top coat and it's meant to resist water. It's meant to resist things that go on top of it. So when you're piecing things together, you're putting your layers and layers on, we do have to think through, like, is this going to work? Is the Mod Podge going to accept this paint? And how well? Is it really going to stay on here? So we're going to be really careful, and we're going to dry this really well. And then I will spray top coat most of the time if I have something that I need to make sure it's not going to move. And I don't want to rub it, because if I rub, I told you when I was rubbing the paint marker off, the halo, with the baby wipe, it was coming right off the page. That's the Mod Podge that's underneath, protecting the page underneath, which is what I wanted. So I can't use a rub-on Mod Podge to top coat this. I'm going to have to spray it. Otherwise, it will get lost in the shuffle. It'll just get washed away. Okay, I don't know if this is dark enough. I'm gonna hinge it back and look. I hope it's dark enough. I can't get it up because I got no nails, girls. We gotta get the tweezers out. It's not dark enough. It's not dark enough. We're gonna come back in with a little more dark. We're gonna grab that coffee. Whoa! Whoa, mama. It's cute. Why, thank you. I'm glad you think so. Does Parker paint remove? Oh, it wiped right off. Gloria asked, does marker paint remove easily from the stencil? It wiped right off. And I'm using a Posca. I'm using a Posca marker paint marker. All right, that color is getting kind of lost, so I'm going to come through with a little bit more and see. I'm not even going to do the whole thing. I'm just going to do the first couple of letters and see if this shows up better. Maybe I just might need another coat. It may just be a second coat is what's needed. Yeah, a second coat will do just fine. And I'm just going with the coffee latte is the name of the color. So we're going to do this. We're going to pick it up. We're going to dry the stencil completely. We're going to dry our bunny page completely. And then we'll go in and we'll finish the stenciling, and then I'm going to add my Bible quote, my Bible verse. Okay, one more time. It's perfection. That's perfection, but I'm going to dry it. We're going to dry. Or you could actually, instead of just, while it's still wet, instead of drying it, it might be easier for you to wipe it off right away. I always use, you guys, on my Essential Stencils, and it happens a lot because we go live and then I don't have an opportunity a lot of times to clean up right away. So the paint kind of gets crusted on here and it's on there. So what I use is I put them in my laundry room sink, and then I spray them with a spritz of that Totally Awesome cleaner from the Dollar Tree. And it is totally awesome. It works really, really well. I just spray them and I let the Totally Awesome cleaner sit there for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And then I go back and it wipes, like it penetrates that paint and it wipes it right off. Okay, that's clean now. Let's dry this. And then I'm going to put my Bible verse up in here, I think. Where did I put it? That's the next question. It's on a cereal box, if you can imagine. Those of you who know me, go ahead and giggle. It's on the inside of a cereal box. I had a cereal box sitting here waiting. Oh, here it is. No, it's not a cereal box. It's a cake box. It's a Duncan Hines. Oh, lemon bars. My son loves lemon bars. So I had this in my room to make a book out of, and I wrote my little phrase in there. All right. I got it, though. Okay, next part is the She Is. Let's make sure, I just want to make sure this isn't really wet. It's not wet. And this isn't wet. Nope, not wet. So I'm gonna nestle this down in here, and I don't have to have it left justified. I don't have to have it right above the W. I can move it over just a little so it makes more sense on the page. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna scoot it over, kind of over the L. And we're gonna do the same thing. A little bit of paint on my palette, using my Essential Stencil brush, of course. And we're gonna paint down. Yes, Deb said, so you're rubbing the marker area with your finger to soften the edge. That's exactly what I did. And because it wasn't on raw paper, if I had done that on the tissue paper, the marker would not have moved at all because the tissue paper would have sucked in the paint marker. But because I had the Mod Podge on top of it, I could smudge the paint before it dried. I could smear it with my finger. So I'd write a line of paint and then smear it with my finger. And that was enough time for it. If I did it right away and it was still wet, you can smear that paint a little bit and smudge it. And that's because I put that coat of Mod Podge on top. I have not tested the varnish with that technique. So I just thought, I know that Mod Podge will allow me to do that, so I'll use the Mod Podge. Okay, ready to peel back and see, is this gonna work? Where can I put you so you don't get all over everything? It's perfect. It's perfect. Perfect. And while I'm at it, I might as well just, it's such a small stencil and it's such a small bit of paint that I'm just gonna give this a good wipe. I'm gonna show you these words and then we're gonna add our journaling to it. All right, that's done. We're making progress. There's a couple of different steps. I don't need my stencil brush anymore. So She Is a Wildflower. I'm actually tempted to do something blingy on the words, like use one of my Spectrum Noir on there. One of these on there to get it to bling up a little bit more. We'll see. We'll see. First, I'm going to use a permanent marker. This is a Faber-Castell. It's dark sepia and it's a fine liner marker. Okay. And I'm going to write up in this corner, I'm going to write my Bible phrase. And the Bible phrase that I picked, so this says she is a wildflower and she has the flowers in her hair, which is like, to me, like the absolute cutest thing on that little bunny. The grass withers, the flowers fade, but the word of God stands forever. And it's from Isaiah 40. So we're going to write this in this upper right-hand corner. And I tend to be really different in the way I do my journal pages because this is my, I'm not always traditional because I don't have to be. Because when I look at my journal pages, this page was flippin' fun to do. I have a lot of foil on this page, some watercolor, there's some rice paper behind here, and this is a rice paper. And you can probably see the glimmer of the foil. I wanted this paper in this book, but this image didn't fit in the book this way. So I just decided there's no reason, there's no rule that says I can't flip my book like this so that the juxtaposition of this double page spread goes this way when everything else in the book goes this way. So I think the more that I work in a book, the more free I feel to just do whatever the heck I want, because nobody's the boss of you in your book, and nobody needs to see it. It can be something that's totally yours and private. This is why a lot of people art journal as opposed to just a written journal. You can write your private thoughts in here. You can use it as a written journal. But just know with your artwork in your journal, you can do whatever the heck you want. I think I'm going to actually, this is all in premise of saying, I'm going to put my Bible phrase this way. I don't want it to compete with She is a Wildflower, which we read this way. So I'm going to turn my book the other way, and I'm going to put the Bible phrase this way. And I already wrote it out once. You know what? I need a marker with a bigger tip. I have this set in like, oh, and then I just saw this cranberry one and I thought, wow, that would be beautiful. I'm going to grab the brush tip because it's bigger and it's going to be more bold. There we go. That's what I need. The grass withers. So I don't worry about, I mean, I do sometimes. It would be a total lie to say I don't worry about my handwriting. Oh boy, I better write smaller if I'm going to fit all of this. The grass withers. The flowers fade. This is the Bible verse. But the Word of God. And I have a funky writing. Sometimes I do script and sometimes I do you guys do this? Sometimes it's script and sometimes it's like, what do you call it? Printed. Like individual letters, and sometimes it's like the old-fashioned penmanship script. It's a combination of both. I don't know why. The Word of God. I'm going to make God really big, like all caps. Stands forever. The Word of God stands forever. This is my spiritual journal. This is from Isaiah. I had to look at Isaiah twice. Like really, there are two A's. It's I-S-A-I-A-H, Isaiah 40. I never really had to write it. So I was like, yeah, there are two A's in Isaiah. So I wrote that going the other way, just because that's what I wanted to do. Whenever I say like, you do you, girl, like in your books, you really should feel free to do whatever you want. But I wrote the phrase going this way. The grass withers, the flowers fade, but the Word of God stands forever. And it's with the She is a Wildflower stencil and our beautiful little bunny. And the background is just that. It's in the background. It's only meant to complement everything that's in the front. I always date my pages because I just like to know when did I create it. And I find it really interesting now that I have several books going. I can put a book down and maybe not pick it up for 6 months. And then I go back in that book and I put another page. You don't have to do that. You can have one book at a time and just keep going. I don't know why I have a bunch of different books. They're different sizes. So sometimes I want to work on a big page, sometimes a smaller page. So I have the different books. What do you think? What do you think? So encouraging you to work in books if you like to. You can use your stencils on more than wood and metal and glass. I mean, really, you can put it on fabric. I love to put it in my books, so I hope you'll consider doing that, especially if you're running out of room for boards in your home. Grab an art journal. You can get them at any hobby store, really. Grab an art journal from any hobby store and get journaling. The thicker the pages, I would suggest, the thicker the pages in an art journal, the more expensive the art journal will be. But at least, you'll probably want at least a mixed media weight paper or a watercolor weight paper. Watercolor is the most expensive. I usually use mixed media, and I glue pages together sometimes to make them thicker. So just feel free to do that and try it. And if you're interested in learning more about it, come on over to the Comfy Nest with Grace page to follow so that you can see more of this stuff. Don't forget that right now is pre-ordering the spring and the bumblebee collection of new stencil designs. If you order the full bundles, there is a free stencil with each one of those bundles, but you don't have to. You can order things a la carte, meaning like individually. Use one of our codes. My code for getting an additional discount is THECOMFYNEST, all as one word. We're pulling some winners here. I'll be telling you who the winners are here in a second, but there'll be live winners today, and there'll also be a replay winner. So if you are a replay watcher, please make sure that you let Essential Stencil know that you're here as a replay watcher. Thank you for you guys being here. I do appreciate your time, your company, and your input while I'm creating. Oh, Janet, she says it turned out very cute. Why, thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate you. Oh, I love the comments. You guys are so fun. Beth says, this was a fun project to watch. You're welcome. She says, thank you. You're welcome, Beth. All right, where are our winners? I'm not seeing them yet. I'm not seeing them. We're waiting. Hey, Amber. Oh, thanks. I'm glad you love it. I'm glad. So glad. All of you people who are art journaling, all you art journalers, junk journalers, bookmakers, paper crafters, just paper crafting in general, you may already find a lot of good goodies on my YouTube channel or here on Facebook, on my Facebook channel. So come follow and hang out with us in either of those places. Okay, here are our winners. We got a Kim, we got a Kit, and we got a Carol. So if your name is Kim, Kit, or Carol, Carol Willis Parasu, Kim Biffle Cook, and I think it's Kit, or is it KT Mitchell? You three are the winners today. KT Mitchell, Kim Cook, and Carol Parasu. All three of you just want a set of stencils. In the pinned comment is the email address that you should send a message to Essential Stencil with your name, your mailing address, and your email address so that they can send you stencils in the mail. So congratulations, ladies. I love how you guys are always cheering each other on. Hey, Lisa. Yeah, we're just finishing up, but you can get that replay here in a second. Thank you, Kim, for the compliment. I appreciate you guys. All right, go have a beautiful, blessed day. Go create something pretty that brings your heart joy. Thanks for being here with me on the Essential Stencil page. Don't forget to get your pre-order in. You have until Wednesday, but I wouldn't wait. Just go get it done before you forget. And use my code THECOMFYNEST to get an extra discount. Bye, guys.